All right. Hey, everyone. This is Deontay Copeland, Executive Director of the National High School Basketball Association. I'm here with BJ. Am I saying your right name? Last name Burgess? Is that the last? I'm saying your right name? Oh, gotcha. Chief Operating Officer for the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. So we have a special partnership in place with them this year. We're going to kind of talk about that a little bit. I know I've seen some stuff come across social media pages, but it'll be kind of helpful. We kind of explain kind of what that looks like and so forth. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. So BJ, I guess my first question, will be you. So can you explain kind of the USCAA kind of more about the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a collegiate governing body. As much as we hate the reference, essentially we function just like the NCAA and the NAIA do. Where we differ is that we accept members based on size and resources. So our specific goal is to serve small colleges and universities and give them the same opportunity that their bigger counterparts have in other national associations. So all of our members compete for national championships, student athlete recognition, both in their field of play as well as academic awards. And then we just provide them governance and a platform for success.
Yeah, one of the things I definitely wanted to do has been always my vision. Is like, for me, it's all about reality. I always like to be able to make things realistic for kids in our circle. And so, just growing up, everybody knows those kids that could have been like the next big thing, but it's something all that kind of kept them from getting there. But, you have some of those kids just love the game. And so, a lot of kids think they're going to be that guy or that lady. And so I always believe in bringing reality. And so the reason why I say this is because, every guy or girl thinks that maybe they can probably play college ball. It's like, man, I never got my shot, never got my chance. Well, this right here gives you a shot to prove your skills. So I believe in putting college coaches in a room where you can show us what you got and see if you can make it happen. And so if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I like to give people the opportunity to be able to kind of, do it, show what they can do. So, it's easy to do it that way where they physically can see it versus like telling them, it's kind of like, well, there's like, you're just this, you're just that, you're not, you just don't want me to do this. No, we just want you to see kind of reality. So not that it won't happen, but you're 5'1", 120 pounds. Not saying what happened, but it's going to be hard to be the starting point guard for a university or a professional team. It's going to be very difficult unless you average 50 points a game and, whatever. So this definitely will help out a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And, our member institutions are really diverse. We've got a good mix of both 2- and 4-year programs, as well as some trade schools in the association. And so, college doesn't have to look like traditional college as we know it. One of our larger conferences is part of the Penn State University system. One thing that's really unique about them and some of our other state school system is that they are tied to big degrees, and it offers our student athletes, an opportunity to be part of a large university system, but attend a small campus if that's what they want to do. If they want to start at a community college, they have that opportunity within our association as well. And then, as I mentioned, we've got several trade schools, which is a viable option. And so it's just one of the many things that makes us really unique. And as a former college coach, not in basketball, but a former college coach, as important as it is for coaches to find the right players for their program, I always thought it was more important for players to find the right fit for them. And if we're the right fit and the right players show up on the doorstep of our institutions, a partnership like this, as you said, just really helps facilitate that. So I'm really excited about this.
Definitely. And my thing is always called like getting the elephant out of the room. It's like, what, now that we've kind of had this conversation, you've kind of seen kind of some things, let's focus on plan B. It's like, if athletics not your thing, or if it is great, but you still need a plan B. And I think that's what we're going to explore, other options that you can do, especially if that's not really going to be your thing. So I like to do that. Trade school may be good for them, maybe actually academics. So I like to be able to use basketball as a platform to help them to go whatever direction they feel they can go if they need to explore some things. So I think this is going to be a great partnership to be able to have that, as an opportunity for those that can probably do that, to be able to go to the next level. But those also they can't athletically go, academically go, or even do a trade. So I think that'd be great. So One thing you have, I guess, that we have listed as far as on the sports side is basically the college recruitment portal. Can you talk more about the recruitment portal?
Sure. So that's actually something new that we've developed. It was one of those, COVID products when we had some downtime, and it was something we had always talked about doing. And so that allowed us the time to sort of develop that. It functions pretty much identically to any of your big recruiting platforms, whether it be NCSA or Be Recruited, other platforms like that. What's unique in ours is that rather than coaches having to come and look for your profile, if you complete a profile in our recruit portal, it automatically goes to every coach in the association. And so that's what's, really nice is it's direct contact to our coaches. And then, once you put the ball essentially in the coach's hands, it's up to them, but they don't have to go and seek you out. They can, especially if you're on multiple platforms. But that's one really nice thing is the direct access, and it allows you an opportunity to put in all your information, your personal information, your academic information, your athletic information, the type of school you're looking for, whether it's big, whether it's small, the region, whether you want to be rural or urban. We leave space for all of those fields to be completed so that the coaches really, really know what you're looking for and can then decide if you're going to be a good fit and want to move forward.
Yes, and can you explain kind of like location? Where are most of your locations as far as the colleges for USCAA?
Sure. So we are a national association, but most of our membership is based largely up and down the East Coast. We have a very heavy presence right now in the Northeast. As I mentioned, the PSUAC conference is one of our biggest conferences, spans the state of Pennsylvania. Within Pennsylvania, we've got several other member schools, and then we reach on up into New York, as far north as Maine. We go as far west. I mean, we've got schools in Arizona and New Mexico, but the Ohio region is growing for us. We've got institutions in Indiana, and then as far south as Florida. So you do have some options, but obviously we've got a lot more access right here in the Northeast. But that being said, we're hoping for some continued growth and formation of new conferences too.
Yeah. Do you know how many approximately colleges you have at USCAA?
Yeah, right now we're about 70 member institutions. Just like every other industry, we took a little bit of a hit with COVID. But as I just mentioned, we're looking at growth. We've got a lot of new prospects coming. That being said, we're very intentional about our size. We're not one of the institutions that's going to grow for the sake of growth, just to say, hey, we've got X number of institutions. We want to make sure that we can continue to serve our mission and our vision, which is to serve small colleges. And one piece of that is customer service, whether it's to our athletic directors, our coaches, our administrators, or our student athletes. So we're very intentional about our size. And because we're a little bit smaller, we've got a lot of flexibility and how quickly we can pivot. Using COVID as an example, we were one of the only associations to actually complete a basketball tournament. We crowned a champion in 2020 when not many other people were able to, simply because of our size. Now, we still had the second half of that tournament cut short, but hey, we got one in.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is just like, that's the beauty of what you guys are doing. It's like you have the ability to kind of do some things some of these colleges don't have. Like, for example, I know one thing we talked about was, I've always wanted to expose kids to the other side of the basketball, which is kind of what we do, but even more so the career side. A lot of, like if you're not an athlete, there's other things you can do if you want to be in that sports industry, such as coaching, such as administration, such as any other things you can do, sports medicine. These are things you can do as far as those industries. And so I wanted to be able to kind of, so where we talked about the workshops we're doing, having people to speak on behalf of a coach, on behalf of an administrator, on behalf of an actual kid player that's playing right now, because they can kind of explain to them, okay, this is what I do every day. If you want to be a player, this is what it takes to actually to stay, with the university or play, on the team. Or if you want to be, a coach, like this is what I do to play, to prepare for my teams and recruit and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and our coaches are just as unique as our student athletes. Many times at small colleges, our coaches and our administrators are wearing more than one hat. I can speak to it in my own experience when I was at the small college level. I was an administrator, I was also coaching. And I'm very blessed to have been, had my full-time job be right there on campus where I was coaching, but many times, we've got part-time coaches who they're teachers, they're nurses, they're, lawyers. And so they're balancing a full-time workload and then coaching on top of it. And that's where I really think it's unique at our level is, small college ball is a lot different than, Division One. And not to knock Division One, but I think the smaller you get into colleges, the more personal it becomes. Your coaches are making, pennies for the hours that they're putting in, right? They love what they're doing. They're not doing it for that $1 million contract. And the same can be said for the student athletes. We do have some schools who offer scholarships, but they're, far and few between, and very few of them are a full ride. I mean, you may be given, a few $1,000s, but at the end of the day, they need student athletes who are doing it because they love it, because that's exactly why they're coaching, and it's because they love it. And that's one of the things that really draws me to small college America, and always has.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is just basically it's all about the love and kind of putting the hard work in the ground, because you get those people that just basically need a second chance. You might have those folks that have been overlooked. They didn't really get a chance to get seen, and they're just kind of maybe from a small town where they just don't have a lot of folks coming to their area. But, this gives them opportunity to be kind of exposed, and then also help them to be able to kind of look at what's on the other side of the ball. I think, like I said, the academic stuff, the career stuff, if you want to be in the industry, if you want to be in trade, we focus on all those areas. I think partnering with you guys will allow us to be able to help us do those things. So I'm very excited. I'm definitely very excited, because all the chapters we have 10 chapters nationwide. I think our three big ones is Atlanta, New York, and LA. Of course, New York is the one where you have a lot of colleges at, Of course, the other chapters we have are Arkansas, Memphis, the 2 Texas, Dallas, and Houston. Miami is a new one, and Vegas is a new one, and so forth. So, we're looking forward to what this year kind of holds with the collaboration with you guys coming up. And, the chapters are there. I'll talk to the coordinators. They're excited about it as well. But I'm glad we had a chance to have this conversation, because now everybody knows, like, what's that again? What are y'all doing? So now everybody kind of has a kind of a backline of kind of what we're trying to do and what's, to look forward to. So I'm sure we'll, over the time, they'll have more questions, but we'll be able to put more stuff out there for them and kind of show them what's going on in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all about providing opportunities. As I said, I can't stress enough, it's student athlete experiences at the heart of what we do. And if that means we can offer an under-recruited, student athlete an opportunity to play at a 2-year or 4-year institution, sometimes you find a student athlete who comes to a small school, they didn't think they wanted a small school, and all of a sudden they fall in love. Or maybe a student athlete just needs an extra year or two to transition from high school to, a larger university. And we've got institutions that fit all of those molds. And so that's what's really exciting. And, we're excited about your mission and vision and, just helping these student athletes succeed. And while basketball might be the avenue that we're going to do that, at the end of the day, it is about their education. It is about their career development and growing as young adults and seeing all the opportunity out there that basketball brings. I mean, employers love student athletes. They absolutely love them. The work ethic that we gain as athletes is second to none.
Awesome. Well, BJ, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm very excited about the collaboration. So hopefully we'll talk pretty soon, and we'll be able to have another conversation like this where we can update everybody what's going on. But I'm looking forward to connecting with you soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been awesome.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Deontay.